Hey there, singers and singerettes. We're gonna learn how to sing some R&B. Yeah. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Saturday. This is Dave Trevor. I know it's not Friday. I know it's Saturday. I want to apologize because I had some personal stuff go on and I couldn't get a video up last night, but I'm getting you one anyways because that's what I plan to do, is to get you one every week. So this one's about singing your style. We're going to learn about how to sing R&B. So let's get started, shall we? Okay. So what is R&B? Well, R&B, what it stands for is rhythm and blues. And rhythm and blues, it started out as one thing and it's kind of changed over time. So there's a definition for it. I went right onto wikipedia.com and this is what I found out, okay? I'm going to kind of paraphrase this. I'm not going to say the whole thing because there's a lot to it. So if you want, go ahead and look for yourself. Just type in rhythm and blues and you can read more about it. But to paraphrase, what it means is it's a genre of popular African American music, and it originated in the 1940s. The term was used by record companies to describe the recordings that were predominantly in like urban type areas, and that's why they called it rhythm and blues. It also had this real insistent, consistent drum beat, or beat in general. So there you go, and it was getting more popular. In the 50s, it was more leaning towards like rock and roll. They called rock and roll R&B, which is weird. And in the 70s, it was more soul and funk. And then finally in the late 80s, it was more considered to be known as contemporary or more current R&B. So yeah, there you go. That's what R&B is. Now, why is it so popular? Well, it is popular because you're talking about heartbreak. You're talking about loss. You're talking about all sorts of things. Excuse me. And, you know, lots of people can relate to losses. They can relate to things that have been bad that have happened to them. So that's why it is so popular. Now, are R&B and hip-hop the same? Because you'll hear nowadays you've got hip-hop. And hip-hop tends to be very specific in a certain way, in a certain fashion and stuff. But it has a lot of the same similarities as R&B. One of the same similarities it has is the kind of drive, the kind of feel. It's got that same kind of emotional tug to it. The other thing is that it talks about the same type of material. We're talking about loss. We're talking about heartbreak. We're talking about reflection. Reflection is this idea of like, you know, it was this way and now it's not. Whether it's good or happy, but that's what reflection really is, okay? Now, what can a person benefit from this style? Well, the biggest thing that they can benefit is emotion. They can literally take command of their own emotions and really utilize it and use it to their advantage. And with that, they can have control. They can control how much they want to put forth or how much they want to take away. And R&B artists do this the best, from what I've seen. They do it. Some of the best do it from R&B, and I'm going to give some examples of some R&B artists here later in the lesson. So check that out, okay? We'll talk about it more in a minute. And then also, you can expand one's range. Like if you listen to singers like Usher or even Drake, stuff like that, you'll notice that their earlier stuff, they were singing certain things, and then their later records, as their careers grew, they were able to sing higher notes or sing much lower notes, and it's all because they're able to learn how to expand their range, their singing range. The point from this note to this note now becomes a point from this note to this note, and that sort of idea, okay? Cool. Now there's some things to remember with singing R&B, and the first is this. Less is more. The less that you can put forth when you're recording or when you're out there in a performance, the more it's going to make the audience want to pull in. I talked about this in the last lesson on how to sing with emotion. Well, it applies here too. If you guys want, go ahead and look up here in the boxy box and you'll see that lesson, what I'm talking about. Now, R&B is not usually happy music. Again, like I said, it's about heartbreak. It's about loss. And for the males, it uses falsetto a lot. Why? Because you can really convey an emotion if you do falsetto in the right sort of fashion, in the right sort of manner. And again, I'll give some artists that talk about how they use their falsetto too later in the lesson. Okay, guys? Awesome. Okay, so let's get right into this. How do you do it? Well, you want to use more breath on lower notes. Remember, to have this real type of airy sound is the key. So, you know, like I was just joking around, but we'll just do happy birthday to you. So happy birthday R&B would sound like this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear blankety blank. Happy birthday to you. You hear how it's real airy and it's real kind of sound? That's what you want. It's got that whispery kind of airy quality. That's what R&B singers out there really utilize and really capitalize on, is that type of sound. Okay, guys? So, one more thing before I forget. Okay. Had to make sure that my heat didn't click back on and ruin the whole video. Okay. Boys, it's been a week for me. Okay, moving on. Now, when you're doing this stuff in the high ranges, you really want to free yourself. You really want to open up those vocal cords. You really want it to pop and sizzle and all those sorts of things. So you want it to sound maybe something like this. Girl, you know that you are the one, yeah. See how it's like my voice is free, but it's like, it's not too free. It's like, it's up there and it's out. And I'm not trying to push, but at the same time, I'm just sort of kind of let it naturally go out. So I'll do it again. I'm just making up these words, guys, but this is so you get an idea of the sense of what that style sounds like. So, again, girl, you know that you are the one for me. Ooh, yeah. See what I'm saying? Real simple, real light, real airy. R and B. And you have to sing about heartbreak and loss or reflection, because that's what R&B is. It's not happy music. It's not angry, really. It might be upsetting and it might be frustrating, but it's never like, say, with rock and metal where it's like, "Rah, I'm ready to take you out, rah, bite me," that kind of stuff. So, well, that sounded weird. Anyways, that's what R&B is about, and that's how you sing it. And again, this is just my own personal experience for how to sing R&B. If you guys have any sort of question about this or want me to expand on anything that I've talked about in the lesson thus far, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see if I can't get to it soon. I am still going through a backlog of stuff in my inbox, but I'll get into your questions. So yeah, there you have it. So yeah, there you go. And for further study on R&B, I want you guys to check out some artists. I'm just going to list these off. Feel free to check out all of them, some of them, the ones that you think might apply to your voice or voices of people that you might like or know. But here's some good ones. Alicia Keys, probably one of the best R&B singers out there, even to this day, because she has a command and a control of her voice like you just wouldn't believe. And she also has a really sexy, sultry, amazing voice. That's the best way to explain it. Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke is a white guy, and he sounds like a black man. He is so good at what he does, so check him out. Maxwell. Maxwell is really good at commanding his falsetto like you wouldn't believe. Like, he can sing stuff that's way up there in the register. Also, another artist that does it is Dream. Dream is a really good guy with a lot of that stuff. I don't like a lot of his music, but there's some songs where you're just like, wow, that's impressive. Or it's recorded well. Whatever it is, it's good. Newer band that came out, New Republic. They're actually from Colorado, and yeah, very good band. Definitely R&B. You have Music. He's more of a lower kind of style. You've got Common, same kind of thing. He seems to be more in the baritone area. Maroon 5, even though they're more towards rock and roll and popular music, that's a very good one. You have India RE. You have Erykah Badu. You have Lauryn Hill, which is one of the best back in her heyday. You have myself when I was working with my buddy X. You can check out the last lesson, and you can also check out the link in the description box below, because I do a couple R&B. You have my buddy Jay Dixon. He's actually in my sub box below me right here, and he's really good R&B artist. I think he's one of the best guys out there that's not been quite discovered yet. And then finally, you have one of the biggest ones, and that's Usher. So I hope those are all good artists for you guys to check out. I hope you guys can get an understanding of what R&B is just from studying those artists, and you guys should be good. And finally, with that, a quick shout out again for my buddy Jay Dixon. You guys got to go check him out. Check him out right here, or you can also find him in the description box below. Listen to his music and then subscribe, guys, because he really needs your help, and he's really talented. He put all that music together by himself, as far as I know. The only thing he didn't do was record it, but I'm pretty sure he wrote most of that music himself too. But if you want to know, go check it out yourself. Maybe even ask him, hey, did you record it yourself? Because he's really talented. He's got a lot going on for him. So yeah, Jay Dixon, this is my second shout out for you, buddy. I wish you the best of luck. All right, getting into the question of the week. This comes from Kate Taylor 1993, who asks, is there a way to expand your range without the risk of damaging your vocal cords? Yes, there is. This is a great question because it's such a simple question, but it hasn't really been answered by, well, me for instance, but it also hasn't been really answered thoroughly enough. So let's see if we can do that now. So the first thing I'm going to say is practice. Practice, 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 practice. But the things I'm going to talk about right after this all have to do with lots and lots and lots of practice. And they're this. Never push for the notes. Always be striving to get better, but never be pushing or straining your voice in any way, shape, or form. Why? Because it will not help your range at all. And along with that, now that I think about it, try to stay away from drugs and alcohol. Those will greatly diminish your range, and they can definitely hurt your vocal cords. If you guys have any questions about that, I did a lesson called How to Take Care of the Vocal Cords. You can look up right here. It's in the boxy box as well. I think it's Singing Tips 26. I think it's Singing Tips 26. So check that out if you guys have any questions on that, okay? Awesome. Find music that will gradually and continually make you stretch your voice. This is a big one. This is like, you need to keep, like when I was learning how to sing and expand my range, all I was singing was musical theater type stuff. But when I was listening to the radio, I'd always try to listen to songs of like notes that I can't quite hit yet, and I learned what they were doing, and I listened to it over and over, and then I'd be singing in my voice lessons and learn, oh wow, I can actually hit that note now because I've been gradually working on it and getting higher and getting better and getting more strengthened with those notes. And then since I'm comfortable with those notes now, I can move up to the next notes and so on and so forth. And that's how you increase your range. That's the only way you can really do it because increasing your range is not like you're trying to, drive a train down. That's a terrible metaphor. Sorry. You can't just, expanding your range is like doing the long jump. You can't just, run, or stand still and then jump and get to your point. You have to basically, have a runway and run, and then you can jump. Well, think of practice as your runway. You've got a long, long, long runway, and now you're going to be jumping into that new territory, into that new range, into that new type of singing. That's all stuff that has to do with expanding your range. So I hope that answers your question. I feel it answers your question. It's not a very hard answer, but there you have it. So Kate Taylor, 1993, thanks again for asking that question, and you rock. Cool. So next week we're going to be talking about musical theater, and this is really cool because I had a lot of experience in it, so I know a lot about it. We're going to be talking about why volume is so important, why emotion with the face is a big deal, why you should gain air from other parts of your body. Sounds pretty interesting, right? And much, much more. So thanks again, you guys. I appreciate you guys helping me out. I know a lot of you expected my video last night. I'm sorry I couldn't get to you, but here it is again. And once again, my name's Dave Trevor. You can find me on Facebook right here. You guys can also find and follow me on Twitter right here. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe. You got the big yellow button up top, big yellow button at the bottom, and I will see you guys next Friday. Have a great weekend. Take care.